What's up, Timmons here. Here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turns 10, 20, 30, and 40. We got some good ones and some not so good ones here. And coming in at the films turning 10 is one of the not so good ones, and that is we actually got two Transporter movies on this list here. Not this list, but the second one here. Uh, Coming in at number 10 is the Transporter Refueled. Of course, this is like the Transporter movie that did not have Jason Statham in it, starring Ed Skrein, who you might remember as the main villain from the first Deadpool movie, Ajax or Francis and all. Of course, you got the late Ray Stevenson, Gabrielle Wright. This is, of course, where Frank Martin finds himself caught in a bank heist and kidnapping orchestrated by Anna. And this movie is awful. I remember seeing this one in theaters. I was really interested in it because I was actually intrigued to see a new Transporter movie, even though it did not have Statham in it. I still thought this thing was just god awful. It was not all that good. The acting was terrible. It was just completely boring at times. I'm like, this was definitely not Transporter. I mean, Jason Statham really made this franchise work, and Ed Skrein, I mean, he was good in Deadpool and all. Thankfully, he followed this up with Deadpool, and it was far better than Deadpool. But yeah, this thing was not so good at all. All right, also turning 10 is A Walk in the Woods. Now, this movie, of course, stars Robert Redford and Nick Nolte, along with Emma Thompson, Nick Offerman. Where, of course, celebrated travel writer Bill Bryson it returns to like New Hampshire, but instead of retiring, he announces like he's going to hike over 2,000 miles alongside the Appalachian Trail, and of course he pairs up with Nick Nolte's character. It is a really heartfelt film. The chemistry between Redford and Nolte is really good. It's really decent. I mean, a really good little film worth giving a go. It's a shame Robert Redford retired. I'll just see him make a little bit of a comeback. But hey, just loves his retirement. All right. Also turning 20. Speaking of Transporter, we got the Transporter 2. Unlike Refuel, this one was actually pretty good. Of course, this was a follow-up to the first Transporter. Of course, starring Jason Statham back as Frank Martin, who is tasked with protecting the young son of a politician from like international drug cartels. And this movie is definitely has some fun elements to it. The action's really good. Statham is great. I mean, he really plays Frank Martin perfectly. I always wonder if he's going to come back to the Transport franchise. Like, he's been like teasing it years, like here and there, but I really wonder if Refuel left a bad taste in people's mouth from the Transporters. That's unfortunate, but anyway. Also turning 20 is The Constant Gardener. Now, of course, Rachel Weisz won her Oscar for this. This is a movie that won Rachel Weisz her Oscar, starring Ray Fiennes as Justin Quayle, who's a British diplomat in Kenya, as he tries to solve the murder of his wife Tessa, played by Weisz. And the movie is like is really wonderful. Of course, it does feature flashbacks, telling the story of their love here. It's directed by the Two Popes director, Fernando Morales, who does such a good job here. The performances by Fiennes is great. Rachel Weisz is terrific. It is a really wonderful film worth giving out. Alright. Also turning 20 is the classic Nick Cannon movie, Underclassman, where a young detective goes undercover at an elite private school to destroy an international stolen car ring. It also stars like Hugh Bonneville, Cheech Marin. It's more of a guilty pleasure. I mean, it's not that good of a film. Nick Cannon, like his performance in this wasn't anything to go by, but it definitely has some fun aspects to it. It definitely had some, definitely was pretty hilarious at times. Again, it's not that good of a film, but it's more of like a guilty pleasure type film. All right. Also turning 20 is A Sound of Thunder, directed by Peter Hyams, starring Ed Burns, and it follows like time travelers who accidentally interfere too much with like the past. Here, it is based on a book by Red Bradbury, and it's not so good either. You got Sir Ben Kingsley, Catherine McCormack. The movie is like the effects is pretty not so good. It's very outdated. It is like very forgettable. It's not really that good of a film there, so Yeah, I probably only seen this movie only once, and that probably once or twice, and that was really it. All right. Film turning dirty this week? We got Magic in the Water. Of course, if our two siblings, who and their who with their preoccupied father, who takes them on a vacation to a remote Canadian lake in British Columbia. It features Mark Harmon, Joshua Jackson, Sarah Wayne, and it's okay. I mean, it's a really decent family adventure movie. I mean, it's not like one of the better movies of the '90s, but it definitely has some fun adventure aspects. I mean, obviously they were trying to capitalize on something like the Goonies or whatever. But it was an okay little film there. All right. Now turning 30 is A Prophecy. Now this stars Chris Walken, who plays Archangel Gabriel, and his search for the evil soul of Earth, and police detective played by Elias Koteas, who unknowingly becomes caught in the middle of a angelic civil war. The Prophecy is a really good little horror sci-fi film. Great performance by Chris Walken. It is pretty creepy at times. Uh, of course, directed by Gregory Whitten. I mean, they did do a couple of sequels, which the sequels aren't so good, but The Prophecy is a really decent one worth giving a go. Alright. Films turning 40 this week. We got the classic 80s action movie, American Ninja. Now, this, of course, stars Michael Dudikoff, and where a humble U.S. Army private suddenly develops legendary skills and stealth here, and he takes on a fearsome black ninja in a final duel. It is an '80s action film that is that's very cheesy, but it definitely has some fun aspects to it. I mean, of course, they did do a couple of sequels here and there. The first, American Ninja is great. The sequels aren't so great. But I mean, if you guys haven't seen American Ninja, it's definitely an '80s it's it's an '80s film that is well worth a watch. All right, also turning 40, we got Flesh and Bone, Flesh and Blood, which stars directed by RoboCop director Paul Verhoeven, starring Rutger Hauer, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and it's set in 1501 in early modern Italy, and follows two warring groups of mercenaries and a long-standing quarrel. It's okay. I mean, it's not really anything to go by there. Paul Verhoeven has directed better stuff in the past, but that's not really one of his best. All right. Also turning 40 is Compromising Positions, which stars Susan Sarandon and feature Addams Family and Street Fighter star Raul Julia. And concerns a Long Island housewife and former journalist who becomes involved in a murder investigation. And of course, it's directed by Frank Perry. It is a really decent whodunit type film. Sarandon's great. The late great Raul Julia is terrific. It is a really decent little film there. Also turning 40 is City Limits, where a corporate plot to take over Plage, LA, run by teenage bikers ruling the city. You do got the likes of John Stockwell, Ray Don Chung, Kim Cattrall, James Earl Jones, feature Beauty and the Beast voice actor Robbie Benson. You also do got Dan Devlin, who will go on to write Independence Day. City Limits is a really fun, little '80s, definitely has a little bit of the Warriors feel to it. Great performances by a very young Kim Cattrall. John Stockwell's great in this. Donnell Lawson. I mean, it's a really cool '80s film that's well worth a watch there. But that's pretty much it. Let me let you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? To me, the 10-year one is going to go to A Walk in the Woods. The 20-year one is going to go to Transporter 2. The 30-year one is The Prophecy. And the 40-year one is American Ninja. Drop comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Suicide.